lymphatic system is associated mostly with the circulatory and the immune systems. If we look at some of the questions about the lymphatic system to start with, ask yourself, as blood circulates around the body, some fluid leaks from the blood into the surrounding tissues. Is that possible? Yes, it is. There's more than 3 liters of fluid that leak from the circulatory system into the surrounding tissues each day. Think about how much 3 liters is. Yeah, that's true too. Lymph vessels contain valves. That would be like veins, and they do. Lymph is returned to the respiratory system? No, it's returned to the circulatory system. Swollen glands, have you ever had those? They're really lymph nodes that are enlarged by buildup of microorganisms. That's true. Lymph vessels help to absorb fats and fat-soluble vitamins from the digestive tract and carry them to the blood. They do. Lymph moves through the lymph vessels by osmotic pressure of the blood and movement of the smooth muscles. Smooth muscles? No. It's actually the skeletal muscles, so you can replace that right here. As we move, the muscles squeeze, and they help squeeze the lymph, just like veins and, with the blood, through the vessels back up towards the heart. So the lymphatic system is really a network of vessels, nodes, and organs that collect the fluid that's lost by the blood, up to 3 liters, and returns it back to the circulatory system. The fluid that is being returned is called lymph. And anytime there's a swelling of tissues because of a buildup of fluid, that would be due to a blockage of lymphatic vessels, that's going to be called edema. So if anybody ever mentions that they have edema, a lot of times this happens in lower extremities and legs, and swelling, and sometimes if you touch it, it could be squishy, sometimes a little hard, and that's all because of fluid buildup, because it's not being returned back to the circulatory system. If we look at the parts of the lymphatic system, we'll start with the tonsils. Those things that become swollen when you're sick in the back of your throat? Well, those are like lymph nodes. They'll collect some of the microorganisms or bacteria that are causing you to be sick, and they swell. The thymus, okay, that is going to actually house T cells, which recognize foreign invaders until they mature. So they're going to hang out there. The spleen, which becomes inflamed with certain sicknesses, and it works kind of like a filter as well, and it's going to clean blood, and when the blood flows through it, it's going to remove any damaged blood cells and destroy them. It's also going to house full phagocytes, so phagocytes or antibodies that actually have engulfed microorganisms already, and they need to be destroyed. They're going to be in the spleen. Then the bone marrow works also in this system. The lymph vessels, which are the vessels that are going to carry the lymph or this fluid back to the circulatory system. The thoracic duct, which is a tube, you're in the chest, that's going into the heart, and the lymph nodes. Lymph vessels also contain valves that prevent the lymph from flowing backwards. Just like veins, we want to make sure, because the pressure is low, that the lymph is going to get back to the circulatory system. So by the valves being there helps prevent backflow, and then the vessels are also around skeletal muscles, and as you move, the skeletal muscles contract and also squeeze the lymph. And then ducts collect lymph and return it to the circulatory system through 2 openings in the superior vena cava. So that thoracic duct and the lymph vessels are going to actually go into the superior vena cava, which is the upper vein returning to the right atrium of the heart. And lymph nodes are going to act as filters. So anywhere that there's lymph nodes, they're going to trap bacteria and other microorganisms. And when there's a lot of bacteria or microorganisms and they get full, that's when they're going to swell. So you can get swollen glands like underneath, at the top of your throat, underneath your chin area, your tonsils, you get tonsillitis, things like that. Those are all, because the lymph nodes are doing their job.